Hi, welcome to MindUP lesson number 5, Mindful Seeing. My name is Joni and I'm a trainer for the Beach Cities Health District. And today I'll be guiding you through the lesson, which is all about using our sense of sight to observe the size, shape, color, and texture of objects all around us. You'll also have a chance to observe magic water with me in a moment as well. But before we get started, let's review the materials we need for the lesson on the next slide. Here are the materials you need for today. The Mindful Seeing Worksheet, one small object, this can be a water bottle, a toy, or really anything nearby, and a pen or a pencil. Okay, let's begin with the Mindful Seeing warm-up that I mentioned, magic water. Now I have with me a jar of clear water, and I'll be dropping different colors into the water for you to observe. Now when the colors fall, you'll see different shapes, sizes, and the color might transform as well. So we'll be looking really closely together, and I'll hold the water nice and close for you to see. Before we begin though, let's focus by taking a deep breath in, sitting up nice and tall, and exhale, let it go. If it feels okay, you can close your eyes with me for this breath. Inhale. Open your mouth and exhale. One more time. Big deep breath in. And let it go. Blink your eyes open or look up. And let's begin. So the first color is going to be red. Watch very carefully as I drop the red with 3 drops. Notice how the color moves through the water. And as it nearly reaches the bottom, we can see that space in between. I'll add another color. The next color is blue. Before I add this, I'm wondering if you have any predictions about what might happen when I add blue to the red. You might even think about what color will appear. Notice the differences. Again, how the shapes change and move towards the bottom of the jar. I'll move my hand so you can get a closer look. And if you look over here to the top, you might even see the color purple emerging. So if you guessed that purple was going to appear by mixing blue and red, you are correct. Next, I will add some green. Here we go. 3 drops of green. Now you can definitely see the water is getting darker, the shapes are changing. It might become a little more challenging to see this through the video. This is something you can definitely try at home with an adult, as long as you have water, a jar, and some food coloring. And as I turn the jar, if you can look closely, some really cool shapes emerging inside. Finally, I'll add the yellow. We'll see if this brightens it up a bit. Get a little closer so you can see inside. This is a little bit harder to see because the water has become so dark, but in different lighting, you can definitely see different colors coming out. So again, this is something you could try at home, adding colors with an adult. So in addition to observing the shapes and the colors we saw, the next activity, I'm going to ask you to look around for texture and also size. So this activity is very similar to I Spy. And on the next few slides, I will give you some directions on what to look for. So get your body ready one more time. Take a deep breath in, exhale. exhale, and here we go. Name something blue in your room. Now name something small. Name something shaped like a rectangle. Finally, look around and name something soft. You just observed the color, size, shape, and texture of different objects around you. Scientists do this a lot to learn more about what they're studying. Today you'll be a scientist and look very closely at the objects you chose at the beginning of the lesson. Let's try observing this eraser together. Then you can try your object. Imagine you were holding an eraser in your hand, just like the one pictured on the last slide. How would you describe the size, shape, color, and texture? Here are my observations. The size is small, the shape is rectangular, the color is white and green, and the texture is smooth. On the next slide, I'll show you how I recorded these observations on the worksheet. Hi again. I wanted to show you how I completed my mindful seeing worksheet with the eraser observation. So at the top, you can see these 3 columns. This is object number 1. And for size, I circled small. For shape, rectangular. For color, white and green. And for the texture, smooth. Now your job will be to write in your object for the column for object 2 and object 3. Once you complete that, at the bottom you'll see this little rectangle with a reflection question. And it says, how can mindful seeing help me during the day? So in addition to observing different objects around you, you could use mindful seeing to help you figure out whether a friend is happy or sad by reading their facial expression. You also might use it to help you find a lost shoe or a lost toy, any sort of object. So we actually use mindful seeing more than you might realize. So take a moment to reflect, write down or draw your answers, and when you're finished, I have one more job for you, and that is to play a fun game of mindful seeing, or I Spy, with somebody at home. So you can use the clues of size, shape, texture, and color, just like we did at the beginning of the lesson, and challenge each other. Have fun with it. Notice when you're practicing mindful seeing throughout the rest of the week, and I look forward to seeing you in the next lesson.